Today I want to make a video about culture. Culture is one of my favorite things when it comes to traveling because go to different countries. That's not what this video is about. This video is actually about the things that I still cannot wrap my head around after 3 years of living in Colombia.
This video was not done in a mean-spirited way. There was just a way to clarify certain things that, me as a Colombian, give better insight. Hey everyone, and thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel. This is Ray Condor speaking. If you want to sound Spanish, you could say Ray Condor if you can roll the R. This is a channel that I have for the people who want to travel to Colombia, who want to learn more about the culture, and I also use this channel to talk about my hobbies and other things. In the future, I plan to expand more about travel outside of Colombia. But for those who don't know, for the last couple of years, Colombia has been the hot topic because, it's become a lot more safer in the last, maybe 5 to 10 years. So I'm going to be doing something different this time. I'm going to be doing a commentary video, a reaction video to a YouTuber who travels to Colombia, and he's actually been living there as a foreigner. And he explains the certain things that he doesn't understand about Colombian society. He brings his girlfriend along. So I want to give my opinion as the local Colombian YouTuber, and just to clarify a couple of things. He goes by the screen of AK Joel's Colombia. He's a YouTube traveler that has traveled to different parts of the world, and he started his YouTube channel. I've watched him grow. He's actually one of my favorites of the English-speaking community because he gives good information for travelers who want to come to Colombia, and he goes deep into Colombian society, offering the deeper aspects. He's funny, he's very down to earth, this is highly suggestible to everyone. And he also has a YouTube partner called the Medellin Buzz, which is more on the business side, and he gives you information about the different parts of Medellin.
And sometimes the things that people doing there are super weird to you at first, but then you get used to it after a while. That's not what this video is about. This video is actually about the things that I still cannot wrap my head around after 3 years of living in Colombia. Some of these things I just ask my girlfriend here, Carolina, every day, why do you guys do this? She's never really given me any straight answers. That's why I've gotten her on the show today and demanded some answers. So that's what you're going to give us today, Caro. No getting out of it.
Okay.
So
I have no idea what he's going to ask me.
Yeah, you have no idea about the list.
I would just like to give a little bit of warning. When he says that he wants to talk about weird things that Colombians do, he's not talking about weird things that Colombians do. He's talking about weird things that paisas do. See, what most people don't understand, that Colombia is a multi-ethnic, multicultural society. So each region is like a different country, and there's cultures upon subcultures. This tends to be a little bit of a mistake by foreigners who come to Colombia, but don't you worry, guys. This is not an English speaker problem only. We actually get this from other Spanish speakers as well. Here's an example.
Me dicen que no tengo acento colombiano, pero si se refieren a más de 40 millones de colombianos no hablamos como colombianos. Colombia es un país pluricultural y multiétnico. Aquí habitamos más de 115 pueblos originarios, afrocolombianos, palenqueros. Tenemos 32 departamentos, 6 regiones, 5 fronteras terrestres, alrededor de 63 lenguas nativas. Yo soy de la región surandino-amazónica. Mi acento está influenciado por el quechua porque además de vivir en una región indígena, soy indígena. Muchas de las palabras de mi diario vivir vienen del quechua, pero mis papás también viven aquí, también son indígenas y tienen un acento diferente, porque los acentos no solo varían por las regiones, sino las edades, los estratos y el entorno. Entonces no todos hablamos paisa. Deje de ver narconovelas, ahorita está 100 años de soledad, véase 100 años de soledad, viaje a Colombia si puede, conozca nuestro bello país. Si usted es colombiano y no habla paisa, no se sienta menos colombiano donde están otros lugares. Llevemos con orgullo nuestro acento porque con eso también cargamos toda una historia.
So when he has things that he doesn't like, he's actually talking about the paisa culture. And I've mentioned before that I'm not paisa. I'm what they call bajuno, and in the future I'll be making a video about the different ethnic groups in Colombia.
But I'm going to be asking her about these weird things that Colombians do and why I find it weird, and then we're going to get an explanation.
Okay.
Let's start with the first one, and that is, if you can't see, I'm wearing shorts now, right? And this is a big no-no in Colombia.
Yes.
Let me give you a little story. So I play tennis. And one day I went to my tennis class and it was about 40 degrees, super hot. I rock up with my shorts and my shirt, and my tennis coach, he's actually wearing long pants. I said, "What is this, man? Why are you wearing pants?" And he actually said, "Because it's formal. That's the formal way, because I'm giving a lesson, I'm working,
Okay.
I need to wear pants." And this also happened to me once in an Uber. It was sweltering hot again, and the driver, he was wearing jeans. And I said, "Aren't you uncomfortable?" He's like, "It's not the best, but I'm working, so this is formal, I need to wear pants."
Okay.
Please explain.
Well, do you see a beach near here? Near Medellin? Is there a beach? Do you see sand?
No.
Okay, this is a city in the middle of the jungle. You don't wear shorts. It's not formal. It's not like, it's just too casual. Like we wear shorts at the beach.
I would argue that point because there's probably other cities in the world that are not close to a beach, but you can still wear shorts. I'm not talking board shorts or beach shorts. I'm talking nice jean shorts. Why can't we do that either?
I don't know. It's just not considered something like formal. It's too casual for this city, and also like for the weather. I know it's hot sometimes, but it's not like a beachy kind of weather. For us, it's like there's beach wear and there's like what you wear in the city.
Okay.
And there's no beach around, so why would you wear shorts? That's a way to know if someone is a foreigner. It's like shorts and flip-flops, foreigner.
Or shorts and long socks, he told me as
And
well.
long socks.
Colombians wear ankle socks, I guess?
Ankle socks, the long
Not
sock.
ankle socks, ankle socks.
Ankle.
Pants is one thing that I'll never get over.
How do I go about this? Technically, that is correct, but technically, no, that is not correct, but technically, it is correct. Okay, so let me explain. It really depends on the geographic region that you're in. It also depends on the local culture, and it also depends on the formality of the situation. And it's different variations. Like I said before, Colombia is a country that is divided into different regions, and each region is like a different culture, almost to the point where sometimes it's like a different country. However, if you live in the Pacific or the Caribbean coast where there are beach societies, you'll actually have people that wear shorts all the time, and there's no problem, shorts and flip-flops on the street. However, if you live in the colder climates, like, you know, the central capital or the Andean region, people, they don't wear shorts most of the time. It's actually considered very informal. Sometimes they consider you kind of bummy. And most foreigners don't even understand that there's actually a rivalry between the people from the central regions to the people in the Caribbean coast, and sometimes to the Pacific coast, because they see them as more, you know, they stereotype them as being lazy, you know, as being backwards. The dog. And if you've been around the Caribbean, like Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, you know, it's pretty much a Caribbean-like culture, so they tend to be more relaxed and things like that. Now, granted, if you go to Medellin, which is a very formal society, it's actually kind of looked down upon to walk around in flip-flops and shorts. But, however, there are plenty of people who wear shorts. The difference is in the setting that you're in. You cannot walk around with shorts and then you have like all these flip-flops and you can see your toes or something like that. Let's take my friend, for example, who's from Medellin. As you can see, my friend Wilson here, he's wearing shorts and he's actually in Medellin. He is actually a local there, but he rented out one of those country homes that people rent out on the weekends. It's more of a relaxed atmosphere, so he can wear that. Here he is wearing pants in Cartagena, which is very hot, very muggy. There's actually a swamp nearby, but because you know, the common Colombian will walk around in pants all day long in the heat. It depends on the type of setting that you're in. Because the thing is that if you go to the central regions, people tend to dress more conservative. So basically, dressing with sandals is considered something that is dirty, something that is considered not clean. You know, unless you go into the beach or unless you go into the pool, most people are not going to wear shorts and sandals. And maybe unless you're from the coast. And that is the difference between the coastal people and the people of the interior. It has caused friction. It has caused a low level of discrimination between different groups in Colombia. As you can see, you know, he's in a family setting. He's in a, you know, in a country home rental on the mountainside, and he's dressed pretty nice. So it depends on how you dress and according to the occasion. So if you're going to dress something formal, it's not good to wear shorts.
Because for me, I'm from Australia,
Yeah.
in Melbourne. We have a very different culture.
What the heck? Here are 3 things you didn't know about Australian culture. Let's go! Number 1, it's not uncommon to see people walking around barefoot in the shops. This is me yesterday walking around McDonald's completely barefoot, completely normal, no questions asked.
I mean, do you have the beach near?
Not really, like an hour and a half away. Is that near?
Yeah.
Not so much.
I mean, this is the middle of Colombia. You're surrounded by mountains.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, well,
Okay.
I guess we've
So,
kind of
point-
got
point
some
for
answers.
Colombia.
It's not.
We're
It's-
winning.
It's not a competition.
She's correct about that. This isn't a beachy type of weather. Even though it is known as the city of eternal springtime, if you go to Cali, where my family is from, it is like eternally hot, like summer all year round. And it only gets hot and hotter, and people still wear pants. Once in a while, they wear shorts. But, you know, once again, dress accordingly. And for those who don't know, the full name of the city of Cali is Santiago de Cali. It is known as the salsa capital of Colombia and also known as the city of eternal summer. I find it funny when people say that Medellin can get really hot at times when it's supposed to be known as the city of eternal springtime.
Is how Colombians will greet you on the phone. For example, recently I wanted to get a massage. So I messaged a massage company and I just said, hey, what are the prices of your massages? What options do you have? Any normal person would expect a response of, here's our price list.
Yeah.
I get like a 2-minute voice message back via WhatsApp. I've only seen this a little bit in Mexico, but very, very commonplace in Colombia. What's that about?
When this became like a thing, I remember I was living in the States and I came here to do an internship during the summer. And I remember that my boss used to just send me voice messages and I found that super weird. Like hard to get used to it. I was like, why doesn't she text? Like, I don't understand why she's always like sending me all these voice messages. I remember asking like, why do you send me voice messages? Why don't you just like text? And they're like, it's easier.
It's easier for who? Not easy for me.
Ah, okay, yeah, you're a foreigner.
And she's right about that because, you know, we're the type of people that we like to talk and, you know, say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? What's going on? You know, this happened to me the other day. Things that, you know, obviously an American doesn't want to hear. But, you know, for us, it's going to be, we can't sit there and type that all day long. So it's just easier. My brother gets so mad at me when I do that because he's more Americanized. And he goes, why are you sending me voice messages? You know, just text me. So you know how it is.
But like for people that speak Spanish perfectly. Colombian, 100% Colombian.
Okay.
It's easier for us, like,
I guess
to
so.
just like send the voice there instead of like typing.
It's very complicated for foreigners, especially if you're not like very fluent, like I would say 9 or 10 out of 10 Spanish, because they're going to be sending you it very fast with background noise with the TV or the road and lots of slang.
By the way, if you're interested in moving to Medellin, click the link in the description and download our free Medellin relocation guide.
Greetings on the phone is also something that, to me, maybe I'm a cold man, a ice cube cactus, as she's very fondly, I don't know if it's fondly or with lots of hate, you've named me the ice cube cactus, because apparently I don't have any warmth or feelings.
No.
Maybe it's just me, but when I call someone on the phone or when I text someone on the phone, I'm texting them, hey man, hope you're good, do you know blah blah blah. I'm getting straight to the point because I don't have all day to waste on this shit.
True.
And even if it's someone I don't know, hey, hope you're good, I got your number from, getting straight to the point.
Okay.
But if any Colombian messages you, you know they're going to be like 35 messages, half your day wasted before they even get to the point. For example, imagine you, Colombian, are texting me. You begin, please.
Hello, Akash. How are you?
Hi, Caro. I'm good. How are you?
How's everything going? How's your family?
My family is also good, I guess. How's your family?
It's good, it's good. I remember last time that I saw you that your back was hurting. How is that?
My back is feeling better. Thank you for asking. I remember last time I saw you, your back was feeling good. Is it still feeling good?
Yeah.
See what I mean? It's ongoing and going and going forever. Sometimes Colombians will go with this so much that they'll even forget what they're...
That has happened to me.
Yeah, that's happened to you. They'll even forget what they're texting you for. So a mate of mine, Miguel, if you're watching this, I'm calling you out right here. He messages me and we kind of do some business together as well. But he messages me, hey, AK, how's your trip in Santa Marta going? So we go back and forth. I send him some photos. He's like, I've been there, blah, blah, blah. And then we stop talking. So I actually had to tell him, hey, Miguel, are you just messaging to ask how my trip is or do you want something? And he's like, I forgot. Can you give me this, please?
Okay.
Horribly inefficient way to do things.
No.
Why? Please explain.
We have had this conversation about how Spanish is an emotional language.
Okay.
So first of all, like, we're very emotional people. And it's just like the nice way to ask for a favor is to first like ask how your life is going.
You gotta warm them up.
You gotta warm them up and you gotta ask in every like aspect of your life, make sure the person is doing okay before you ask for the question.
Funny enough, you found this to be true with other Latino cultures as well. The thing is that the Spanish-speaking culture, the Latino cultures, I even say Italians and Greeks as well, we're a chatty group. We just are. And to just, give you, this is it and that's it, it's considered rude. We try to, try to extend the conversation a little bit more. And I understand that this is frustrating to a lot of non-Colombians. Even here in the United States, I have friends that get angry at me because I go into this long-winded story. It's just, just part of the culture, I guess. Again, that's not generally speaking, as a Colombian, there's always rules, exception to the rule. Certain cultures in Colombia, some tend to be more formal, a little bit more distant, like people from Bogota. Others like me from the valley, the Cauca Valley, and people from the coast, both coasts, literally we consider them as the New Yorkers of Colombia. Consider them not to be too friendly, not too outspoken and everything else. And actually, I think I saw AK Joel make a video about that. We actually went to Bogota and he was actually talking to them on purpose. So, there's layers to this. And if you notice, we talk like Italians. We talk with our hands. We say, ese man me la tiene montada. Let me see let me see if you guys can still hear me. Me la tiene montada. It means he's writing me. Está así de lleno. It's like this. It's full like this. It's full like this. And stuff like that. So we're talking like this. And the funny thing is that if you talk to some girls, like some girls from Cali, they're hitting you at the same time. And I saw this, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. It's like, yo, calm down.
Driving. How many times have we been driving somewhere and I've had to tell the Uber driver, dude, can you please slow down? You are making me car sick. Every driver must drive like Vin Diesel in Fast and the Furious. Why do they do this? Please explain.
I'm not a driver, so I don't drive. I'm scared of driving because of that, so I don't have a really, I cannot defend you Colombians here. I'm sorry.
They're both right. They do drive like that. There's no defense on that. I actually driven between the mountains with the driver. He's not even looking at the road. And it's like a 3,000-foot drop on the right-hand side, and there's no side rails, and the guy just looking straight at you, turned around, not even looking at the road. Literally, this is him. So how you doing? So where you come from? Oh, well, your accent is a little bit different. Are you sure you're from Colombia or from the United States? Okay, sure. Yeah, no problem. I'm like, don't you want to keep it on the road? No, it's fine. Yeah, but this turns. No, it's fine. And he's not even looking. This is where he's supposed to be looking.
But do you have any idea why it's just such a crazy, I understand if you're driving yourself because you're like, whatever, I don't care. But when you're driving someone else, the whole purpose of the trip is to have a nice, comfortable ride. It's crazy how many of them don't care. They'll still be swerving through traffic and doing... The worst thing is when they're like, accelerator, brake.
Okay, so this is something that one of my coworkers told me, and she drives here, and she was driving me around, and she was like, here you need to be aggressive. People need to know that you know where you're going and everything. So maybe that's the logic.
Okay.
That is to be able to survive in the city, you need to be an aggressive driver.
So that's actually a technique.
Maybe it's a technique. I mean, that's how people drive here, and that's how you survive.
There we go.
Yeah.
We have an answer. The first clear answer of the day.
Short story. I had an ex-girlfriend of mine from Pereira, and we went to what is called the Parque El Café, which is known as the coffee park. It's basically, let me fix the camera a little bit. So it's basically it's like a theme park for coffee, like the Disneyland of coffee. So they have rides and they have coffee there and stuff like that, and they'll dance for you the local traditions and customs. She said, we're going to take my car. So we go in her car, and she's driving fast, and it's raining, and the roads are small, and she's like acting like she's like a racer and everything else, and the ground is slippery, and she's riding super fast, which it didn't have to because it was like 35 kilometers per hour, and I think that's supposed to be 20 miles per hour or something like that. She's riding like 60. And then when she get there, oh yeah, just to let you know, this is my first day of driving. Like, what? You could have killed me. We literally had to drive through these small roads. And again, a 3,000-foot drop because most of the country is up in the mountains.
All these things they do, swerving and fast driving and whatever, is kind of unsafe. Why do they not have seat belts in the back seat of the car? So basically 90% of cars you see will either have no seatbelt at all, they've taken the seatbelt out, or the seatbelt has been tucked behind a part of the seat, so you can't even get it out. Nobody wears seatbelts here. Every time I try, because I'm like, at least if I tried and something happens, at least I tried. Yeah. But you're not even concerned about it. Colombians don't seem to care about the seatbelt.
I don't know. I remember that being a thing in the States. Seatbelt in the back.
Yeah.
But in Colombia it has never been. When I was little, it was just if I sit right next to my dad, I had to use a seatbelt, but
Yeah.
if I was in the back, they didn't ask me to use it.
So what's
I
the
don't
logic
know.
there?
I don't know what the logic is. I guess it's the front seat is more dangerous and in the back is
That's technically right. I mean, I have seen some cars, the newer cars, that will have seatbelts in the back, but no, he's right. You're not going to have any seatbelts in the back. You know, remember, you're not in the first world developed nation. I can't explain that. I'm sorry. Even I don't understand.
Is the level of cleanliness that Colombians exhibit. This one's actually a good one, although I'll never get used to it. How many times you brush your teeth every day?
like 6 times.
6 times. You don't think that's too much?
No.
So what I was taught when I was growing up from ads and dentists, whatever, once at the start of the day and once before you go to bed, 2 times a day. I'm sure that's probably what you've been taught as well, wherever you're from.
I mean, it's at least 3 times.
Okay, but Colombians, they do it 6+ times a day. Every time you leave the house, you brush your teeth.
Yes.
Please explain.
Well, I don't want to go with a bad breath to meet people. Like if I go out of my house, I want to be clean, presentable for...
Okay. You're not worried about scratching off your enamel or whatever it is?
No.
Okay.
I every time I go to the dentist, you know what they say to me?
What do they say?
They say, really good job, your teeth are very clean.
Okay. And is that 6 times normal for Colombia? Are you a
Yes.
little bit exaggerated?
No, I think
Okay.
it's normal.
The funniest thing is when you go to like a centro comercial, a mall, you'll see the people working there going with their toothbrushes and brushing. And you even said in a previous video that at the office everyone's brushing their teeth, and you did the same thing when you went to the US. And at lunchtime you got your brush and you went, and people
And
thought you were weird.
Not in front of people because I didn't want them to think that I was weird, but yeah, I would do it.
Okay, so that's a very, very interesting one. And on the same topic, showering as well.
Yeah.
My friend, who I play tennis with probably 3 times a week, once he had a lesson at 9 a.m. at the tennis court. So 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And I was meeting him at 11. So he had to kill an hour in between. So rather than just wait at the court and maybe grab something to eat, have a drink, and then play, he went home, not because he had anything to do at home, like
Yeah.
checking some emails or what. He went home to shower and come back and play with me again.
Okay.
And ask him why. He's like, oh, I don't like to be sweaty.
Good answer.
You don't
That's
think?
not weird. So
He's going to play again.
okay,
He's
but
going to, why shower when you're going to play again? He's going to be sweaty immediately in like 3 seconds. Why go home, waste the water?
have you ever felt like sticky and like from sweat?
Yeah, all the time.
I can't even pronounce it. Cleanliness is next to godliness. That is not an exaggeration. We are basically the Thai people of Latin America. If anybody who's traveled to Thailand, I mean, I have never been there, but I know about Thai people. They'll bathe like they will bathe like 4 times a day. Literally, I bathe 4 times a day, 3 times a day. If you're from the coast, from the Pacific or the Caribbean coast of Colombia, they're going to be bathing 6 times a day because it just gets hot. Hygiene is extremely important to Colombians. It's very undesirable. So for the people who are going to Colombia, if you want to find a partner there, be sure that you are clean. Be sure that your nails are trimmed. Be sure, like, you know, guys put like clear lacquer on their nails. You don't have to do that. But even some of the times the guys shave their armpits because of the fact that we don't want to have the smell. You want to be smelling clean. You want to be looking clean. You cannot be looking disheveled. Make sure you have a haircut every 2 weeks. That's just how it is. The culture, we are in overdrive when it comes to hygiene.
Well, we don't like to feel that way, so we shower.
Okay.
And let me give you another example, and this has happened with our maid.
Okay.
Sometimes in her barrio, there's no water in the morning, so she doesn't come to work. And that's a valid reason not to go to work, because you need to shower
Yeah.
and look nice for where you're going.
What do you think would happen if you texted your boss, hey boss, I can't come to work today. Water's not working, so I can't have a shower. See you tomorrow. Would that fly wherever you're from? Because in Colombia, that's evidently a valid reason not to come to work, right?
Yeah.
No one questions it?
Yeah, I said, it's okay. See you tomorrow.
Let's get to the next one. It's quite a nice thing because Colombians always clean, smelling nice, looking good. I like it, right? So next one is approach to professionalism. This is one that I'm always shocked at, right?
Okay.
All the time. So on these Facebook groups, you'll see Colombian advertising. I'm a lawyer. I'm very professional. I've done this job, I can help expats with doing this and doing this and doing that. But their photos like this, like hanging out, and they look like a stripper.
To be quite honest, if you have sexy women offering their services to foreigners on Facebook, most likely they are not lawyers.
That does not inspire any confidence. You are not defending me in a court of law. Please explain.
I don't know. There's a saying that says, who doesn't show doesn't sell.
Okay, that's a Colombian saying?
I've heard it here.
Okay.
El que no muestra no vende.
So they've taken that literally.
So yeah, maybe
Okay.
that's that.
Would you hire a lawyer like that?
I think I would have to see like the resume or something.
I ain't looking at no resume. If
I
I
would
see
look
that
at a
photo,
resume.
straight to the trash. Would you hire a nanny like that?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Like the dressing is not telling me.
It's not the dress, but like the way they're presenting themselves in the photos. Not professional, right?
Okay.
Maybe nanny, maybe doctor. Any of these things?
Well, doctor, maybe not.
Does
Maybe
that
not.
seem appropriate?
No, it doesn't seem appropriate.
I think that's weird. That's something I'll never get used to in Colombia, in Medellin especially.
Okay.
Instead of just like take a normal LinkedIn photo, just take your face smiling. I've seen maids as well, advertising their services. I'm a maid, I'm going to clean your house, blah, blah, blah. But they're like selfie in the mirror
Yeah.
and like this in almost lingerie.
Okay.
And then like emojis in the photo, like love heart, cat, smiling face.
Probably no. I made like no, I wouldn't.
I would be like, this person is definitely stealing something. So level of professionalism is something I'll never get used to. And then
This is the one section where I have to make a disagreement. It really, your miles may vary upon that. The region where I come from, we tend to be a little bit more formal in that type of aspect. I have seen a lot of professionals who will not show their cleavage like that. I come from a more formal society. Like, as I said before, I do come from Cali, but my mother's side of the family comes from a smaller town, much more formal, much more discreet, especially in the area where it comes to, professionalism in business, they will not be doing that. However, there are exceptions because I've seen sexy nurse uniforms and I have seen all these different uniforms where like, they're showing cleavage and stuff like that. But when it comes to like a business setting, no, it will not. So it really depends on the region where you come from. Like, for example, if you go to Pasto, which is in the south, like, by the Ecuadorian border, those people are they're very conservative in some areas. Very, very conservative. So it really depends on where you go.
talk about food and drink. So if you guys don't know, Colombia has some of the best, if not the best coffee in the whole world, yeah? It's exported all over the world and they make a lot of their money from exporting coffee. But the thing is, the locals don't know how to drink coffee.
So it was right there and then where he had messed up. I can tell she's holding herself back. How she's not getting mad at him and unleashing her inner Colombian, I have no idea. Remember, folks, Paisas are the people of the Coffee X's region. They eat, sleep, breathe coffee.
I don't think I've had bad coffee in Colombia, honestly.
I have.
You have? Where?
The Nescafe.
Oh, they do have Nescafe. Manizales is a city in the mountainous coffee growing region of western Colombia. So of course, Karen and Dave bring us for coffee with a gorgeous view.
I like this experience already. It feels like Karen brought me to her coffee dealer. Making sure we smell all the notes and she gave us a really nice presentation.
Smells amazing.
Ooh, it's like a tea. I got coffee tea, a fruity coffee tea. Delicious.
Oh, it does taste fruity. I forget that coffee is actually a fruit.
Yeah, because people roast them too much.
And then I think it's like a grain or a seed, kind of like an almond or something.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So explication.
This is the banana coffee. So it's like basically a smoothie with banana and coffee and liquor. And in this case, it's rum. And I like how they served it here with this little cone-shaped cup with ice to make sure it stays nice and cold. Feels so fancy. Oh, yum! This tastes like breakfast.
You feel the coffee, a good coffee with banana, but it's not sweet. It's a perfect combination. It's like a very nice cocktail.
Yeah.
And it's with rum, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't taste the rum at all, actually.
No, it's super fresh. Perfect for the guayabo.
The word of the day today is guayabo. Guayabo is the Colombian word for hangover. In Mexico we say cruda, in other countries they say resaca. but today in Colombia it's guayabo. So this is to cure the guayabo.
There is no.
Okay, I'm going to be quite honest here. She's holding herself back. I could tell in her eyes. As a Colombian, I know how a Colombian woman is. She is staying quiet because she doesn't want to be confrontational. She doesn't want to ruin his image. I don't know what she told him afterwards, but yeah, she's not happy right there. Do not let her demeanor fool you. A Colombian woman, once she breaks out, you do not want to see her angry. That stereotype about women being in Colombia being submissive, they are not submissive at all. She's just controlling herself for him. And trust me, you do not want to see a Colombian woman mad. You do not want to see a Latina woman mad. It could be Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican. Don't get on the bad side. Believe me.
Americano style or latte.
No, just no. I don't agree with that statement. Joel, I follow you for a long time. I think you're a cool guy, but I think you're really wrong on that one. And to be quite honest, I think the American coffee is absolutely terrible. I live in the United States. I've been to all these I've been to all these coffee shops around here. I've been to Starbucks. I've been to these shishi restaurants. No. Now, I'm going to be quite transparent. Number one, I'm not a coffee drinker. I really don't like coffee that much. If I go to a local Colombian restaurant, I'm actually going to be drinking, if something hot, it's going to be either hot chocolate with cinnamon and cloves, or I'm going to be drinking hot sugar cane juice, or even cold sugar cane juice. But to be quite honest, I really disagree with the statement.
That there is some, but the vast majority of locals just drink this thing called tinto. To explain what tinto is, let you imagine this, right? Get your Americano, pour about 1/10 of the Americano in here, and fill the rest with hot water. That's a tinto.
That's right. That's old school, baby. Tinto. That's how we drink it like that. It's supposed to be almost like tea. It's supposed to be very light. Now, however, I just would like to let you know and everybody know, just because a certain group of people like to have their preference, it doesn't mean we don't drink other forms. Like I said, we do have other ways of drinking the coffee, but generally, as a Colombian, we'll drink that. And for me, I absolutely love it. Once again, like I said, I really don't like these other coffees. I've been to different type of, coffee shops and stuff like that, and I brought it to my mom and my dad, and I got the worst tongue lashing of my life. How can you bring me that kind of stuff? It tastes like 10 pounds of sugar in it. It's over flavored. It's overdone. It tastes so bitter. It's just, for me, I don't like it. Like this pumpkin spice latte, whatever. That is the most horrible. I don't know who came up with that kind of stuff. Granted, coffee does come from Ethiopia, but telling a coffee how to drink coffee? No, we don't do it that way. Old school. It is basically very light, almost see-through, and to the point where it's almost like tea. And for those who don't know, the word tinto means ink. If you go to Argentina, they have the red wine. They'll give you tinto. If you ask for tinto down there, they'll actually give you red wine. So for the word tinto, think like tint. When you tint your windows, it's kind of like dark colored. That's what tinto means. It's like ink. It just means dark colored. But yeah, I prefer it that way. Like for me, no other way. I have Americano, espresso, cappuccinos and stuff like that. I'm going to be quite honest with you. It's really, really bad. And most of the Colombians that actually do drink that, they're a little bit Americanized. Yeah, I hate to be honest. And I'm going to have people coming at me in the comments. I know, but it's the truth. It's just the truth. But it's our preference. Everybody has a right to have a preference, and everybody has a right to have a difference of taste. That's what the world goes around. Not everybody likes eating the same thing. Not everybody likes the same taste. I would also like to point out to my subscribers in my YouTube channel and for anybody who's just viewing, the thing is in the last maybe 20 to 30 years, probably more than that, the best coffee in Colombia has actually been exported to the outside regions, to other countries. The coffee growers, the Federation of Coffee Growers of Colombia have actually banded together, and they actually have been trying to fight back so they can actually keep some of the best coffees. So that's why sometimes when a foreigner comes to Colombia, they will not get the best one, especially on the streets. We have these people who walk around with these huge backpacks full of coffee, for I don't know, 50 cents the American equivalent. They'll give you like a cup of coffee, and it's not the best. A quick little story. So basically, my friends had invited me to a Greek restaurant, which was really nice, because I never had Greek food before. So after that, we just started walking around this outside mall, whatever. And we passed by this place that is known for different types of coffees. And these coffees were expensive. Like one bag was like $40 or even above, So this girl comes up to me. She says, "Hey, would you like to try this coffee? It has is the premium coffee of I don't know what with something roast and either nutmeg or walnuts. I don't know, strange things that Colombians don't drink that kind of stuff. Well, not that brand of that brand kind of stuff. She gave it to me, and I'm telling you, this was the worst coffee that I've ever had. And as soon as I drank it, I paused and I was, oh my God. And Colombians, we try not to be very confrontational. She goes, it's good, isn't it? I say, yeah, it's good. And it tasted like somebody took that dark tar that they put on the floor or on the roofs. It's like someone put gasoline all over it and turpentine and paint stripper. It tasted so bad. Now, I will say that the one coffee that I will drink outside of Colombia will be the Cuban coffee because I live close to Miami. So either I'll be brands like El Pilon or the other one, what's the other one? Bustelo and stuff like that. But other than that, if I'm at my house, I'll just go to a local bodega. I'll get Red Eagle, which is a Colombian brand. Guys, trust me on this. Red Eagle, if you can find the United States, is good. It's actually going to be tinto with the sock. They actually have a sock that they actually have right there and they actually pour the hot water into it. So, funny story short, the same people who actually brought me, that I was walking with, they're older couple, the guy's Chinese and the wife is Puerto Rican, and they looked at me and they said, why'd you take it? I said, well, I was trying to be nice. He goes, well, we don't want to take that because believe it or not, they don't like that type of coffee also. But just the next day or the next few weeks, I should say, not that I'm trying to remember, I had gone into a bodega, which is like a Hispanic Latino market. And I saw this thing called Red Eagle, Águila Roja, which is a Colombian brand. And I brought it to them and they said, oh my God, where'd you get this? Because, the Puerto Rican woman, she told me that when she was young, her mom used to buy Águila Roja in New York City, because she's from the Bronx. And they used to do the sock also. They used to have this, like a little prong with a little stick, and they used to pour it in there, and you have the sock that would be the filter. Yeah, funny story.
Tastes like hot water with essence of coffee. Basically shit, to be honest.
Oh, yet the coffee he likes to drink, I feel that it tastes like asphalt. I mean, this is just my opinion, Not trying to be rude to him, but I find his version of coffee to be absolutely horrendous.
Even though they have the best coffee in the world here.
Okay.
Please explain.
How many coffees do you drink a day? Americanos.
2.
How many coffees do you think my parents drink a day?
Probably more than 2.
Like 6.
Okay.
So
why do they drink so many?
Because it's a social thing.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
For us, coffee is like a time to chat, connect with people. You're generally not drinking a tinto by your own.
Okay.
You're in the office, you're drinking tinto with your coworkers. With your family, after lunch, you're drinking a tinto with your family. It's a social thing. Tinto is an excuse.
Okay, so they don't care about the taste.
Once again, I really disagree. It could be just a cultural difference, but I mean, I have friends from Puerto Rico, friends from Mexico, friends from Cuba, and they don't like to drink the coffee that the people from the developed nations will drink. Like Australia, where he's from. Europe, I will. I mean, I had Italian coffee this good. Other than that, America, no. I'm sorry, but maybe it's just the difference in preference.
I mean, we care about the taste. People are used to it because they drink many more than other, cultures in the world that only drink 1 or 2 a day. We drink too much coffee. And imagine that being an espresso every time.
6 espressos a day.
6 espressos a day, everyone would be having a heart attack.
I'll accept that answer.
Thirdly is Australians love coffee so much that you can even find coffees that cost up to $10. The coffee culture down here in Australia is insane, and people say that we have the best coffee in the world.
This is where my friend Joel gets it from, but I don't think so. Colombians are actually, believe it or not, we're actually coffee snobs. We just don't tell you to your face. And usually we just don't want to hurt people's feelings, but I'm being quite honest. I really don't like other coffee outside of Colombia.
Now you're gonna have to convince me better with this next one. Okay. So fruit is supposed to be a healthy snack, but Colombians, they get this beautiful healthy snack and they get the sugar and they're just there. Why would you take something beautiful and healthy and destroy it?
No, in Colombia, we do have fruit salads that don't add anything. But for example, I come from the El Valle del Cauca, the Cauca Valley. The capital is Cali, and you also have Palmira, and you have Buga, and we have something called cholao. The cholao will be like shaved Italian ice. It will have different types of fruits that are chopped up. It will have condensed milk, and maybe have like a cookie wafer or something. Sometimes a bee, because if for you people who don't understand how things are, sometimes the bees they're attracted to the nectar and the syrup, so that you'll see them crawling into the faucet, and it will drop into your cup. So that's just something that we do in third world countries. Say, hey, there's a bee right there. That's okay, it's clean. Just smack it away. He'll be fine because bees are clean. I'm not sure if you guys are ready for that.
Yo las dejo comer, amigas, pero déjenme comer. Déjenme comer mi cholao también. Ay, no, pero está bien, no, está bien. Ay, no,
Oh, just to let you know, Chola was created in the Cauca Valley, where I come from. I'm Bajuno, Baje Caucano, from the Valley of Cauca. So I used to go to different, just to show the differences between Colombian society. Because my girlfriend is from Cartagena, which is in the Caribbean coast by the beach. They would ask me, hey, where are you from? I'll say, the valley, El Valle. Oh, you're from Valledupar. Valledupar is called Dupar Valley, which is to the northeast, and is where the famous music of Colombia, vallenato, which is an accordion type of music, comes from. I said, no, I'm from the Cauca Valley. So, see, here's the thing, is that even within our country, we have such differences, sometimes that we take that for granted. So now when I go to the northern coast, I'll say, I'm from Valle del Cauca. But if I'm in Medellin, if I'm in Pereira, even Bogota, I can say, where are you from? El Valle, the valley.
And make it horribly unhealthy. Two examples of this, right? Colombians will eat fruits that are not supposed to be eaten, okay? And then they'll just add random things to it and be like, this is delicious. Makes no sense. Okay. One of those things is lulo. Lulo is a fruit. I believe it's typical to Colombia.
It is.
It is. I didn't know this. Do you want to tell the story?
No, tell it, please.
When I first came to Colombia, I heard there was a lot of fruits, delicious fruits. So I went on Google and I said, most typical fruits of Colombia, and a few of them came up. Lulo, some granadilla, some other things. So I went and I just bought like 5 of them. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm going to have a fruit tasting party. I'm going to treat myself. So I started eating them, mango, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I got to this fruit called lulo, right? So I cut this up, open it. Oh, fuck, it looks a bit weird. And then I bite it. It is the most sour thing anyone could ever taste in their whole life.
Yeah, he's correct. Lulo is very acidic and actually grows also in Ecuador and I believe in parts of Panama. That is one of those fruits that you cannot just eat it by itself. That has to be prepared a certain way. For example, you have bananas and plátano. Plátano is more starchy. You can eat a banana raw, but a plátano, you have to cook it. You cannot just eat it like that. So this is one of those things that has to be prepared a certain way.
So I messaged Caro. I'm like, what the hell is this fruit, man? It says everywhere it's delicious fruit of Colombia. I almost died trying to eat this shit. What's the deal? And what did you say?
That's not supposed to be eaten. It's just supposed to be like made a drink. Like a juice. Lulo juice, and you put sugar on it. Because it's undrinkable if you don't put sugar on it.
Okay.
So some things are undrinkable without sugar.
Yeah. So they've taken a fruit that you should never eat or drink, and then they put a shitload of sugar in it, and they're like,
and
wow,
make it delicious.
Delicious.
And make it the most delicious fruit ever.
No sense to me. Another one that they do this with is a thing called mango biche, right? So many of you might be thinking, oh, mango, delicious, very sweet, tropical fruit. This is not how Colombians eat it. Basically, Colombians don't really like the sweet mango. What they like is this green mango, which is unripened and hard, right? It's more consistency of a potato than a mango. So they get this green, unripened mango, which basically is a bit sour, but basically doesn't really taste like much. And then they'll get this, cut it into strips, and then they'll put salt and pepper and lemon. And they'll eat it. And that's apparently delicious, according to you. According to you, it's good.
Delicious.
Do you think that's an acceptable way of eating fruit?
See?
You're eating it like a savory dish.
No, we do eat mango regularly, but the thing is the different levels. For example, one food can be prepared in so many different ways, and a fruit can be prepared in different ways depending on how ripe it is. For people who don't understand, mango, the word mango, biche for us in Colombia means something that is not ripe, something that is still green. The word biche in Puerto Rico, however, is a bad word. So just look it up. So Mexicans do this as well. You know, they'll take a mango, they'll cut it up, they put lemon juice on top of it, maybe a little bit of salt. Now the Mexicans, they do put black pepper and sometimes hot chili powder. For Colombians, we don't eat hot stuff. So what we'll do is that when a mango is not completely ripe and it's still kind of hard, we will take it, chop it up into different pieces. We will put the lemon juice and the salt on top. However, for me, I like to be semi, not too hard, not too soft, because I'll do this at home. When I bring a mango and it's neither too hard, not too soft, I actually dice it up into little cubes on a hot day. Take some lemon, squeeze it, just dabble a little bit of salt on it and just eat it up just like that. It's refreshing. Now, I want everybody to pay attention. He says salt and pepper. The region where I come from, we don't put salt and pepper on the mango. So I have seen the Mexicans do it. So if you go to Mexico, because I have a lot of Mexican friends here in the United States, they brought me that. You know, they put chili powder, they put pepper, they'll put salt and stuff like that. It won't be as hard because I think they like theirs to be a little bit more ripe, but it's not completely ripe.
Now, doing some quick research online, I have found out that yes, Indians also add lime juice and also different powders to mangoes. This is a mango chutney. It comes with all these different spices, and they even make it spicy hot.
What was that horrible thing that you made me taste Australian?
Vegemite.
Okay. Why would you even have that in your cuisine?
I don't know, actually.
Okay.
But that's not meant to be healthy. Fruit is meant to be healthy.
Well, what is unhealthy about mango iche? We just put salt.
Salt
pepper.
is pretty unhealthy. I don't think we're ever going to see eye to eye on this. So let's keep moving before we start getting into argument. Let's get to the next one, which is we've been joking a lot in this video.
Okay.
It's time to get serious. One thing that I find very interesting about Colombians is their attitude to crime. They're very accepting when crime happens to them and not so willing to blame everyone else and blame outside forces. For example, my friend, the same one I play tennis with actually.
Yeah.
This day he should have gone home to have a shower because he would have saved him a lot of money. But he was in Belén, which is one of the neighborhoods here.
Yeah.
Pretty safe place. But he was walking and he was standing at a stoplight texting like this.
Yeah.
You already know what's going to
Yeah.
happen. Standing at a stoplight in a safe place, but someone came by in a motorbike and just snatched his phone, iPhone 14, gone, right? And then he didn't text me for I was supposed to meet him for tennis. He didn't show up. The next day, he finally texted me. He's like, my phone got stolen. I'm like, oh, sorry, man, you okay? Well, trying to be sympathetic. And he said, no, it was my fault. I was standing at the stop sign texting and someone took it, but I shouldn't have been doing that, and it is what it is. Very accepting. He's taken the onus upon himself, said that was my fault, that's okay. That's something that I've seen Colombians say and do, and it's evident in the no dar papaya, which means don't be an easy target. It's all about protecting yourself. Whereas in other cultures, it's you can do the most stupid things of all time, and then you just blame someone else. Nothing is ever my fault. Would you agree, first of all?
Yeah, I do agree. I think it has to do with the fact that for many years, the authorities have not been very responsive when there's some sort of crime. So we kind of okay, if they're not gonna do anything, we start changing our own ways of going through the city. It's more we prefer to change than to actually go to an authority and rely on them.
Okay.
It's more about the things that you do to keep yourself protected and safe.
You guys have changed your mentality to protect yourselves rather than relying on external forces to protect you.
So if something happens to you, kind of is your fault. Not in all the cases, of course. We're not talking about raping or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're with your phone in a place that is dangerous, people are gonna say okay, you were giving papaya, you were not supposed to be doing that. You should have known better. I know it sounds very bad, but it's the reality. It is what it is.
Sure.
If you go to the authorities, they're probably not going to do anything, so you have to take responsibility of your own action.
Yeah, that's not only a Colombian thing, that's actually a Hispanic Latino thing. Maybe because I live here in the United States and I have access to a lot of different people from all parts of the Spanish-speaking world, and they're pretty much the same. I mean, I have friends who are Mexican, I have friends who are Argentinian, and the first thing they'll tell you is your fault. However, they're not going to go, oh, how dare he, and stuff like that. Yes, nobody deserves to be robbed, obviously. you're just making yourself an easy target. The thing is that, you know, when you live in these countries that are already developed, you have a much higher sense of safety in terms of like petty crime. You actually take these things for granted. You know, when I go to Colombia, I'm not the same as I am here. I don't walk around with my cell phone out. I don't put my cell phone in my back pocket. I put it in my front pocket. If I'm wearing a backpack, the backpack is going around here. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. But yeah, like, you know, that's how it is. You should have known better. Why did you put yourself in that position? No ar papaya means don't make yourself a target. Don't make yourself easy prey. You shouldn't put yourself in that position. Like you know, like you should have known better. What's wrong with you? You know. So that's just how we think. And actually, that's a culture clash. You know, Europeans and you know, people from you know, the United States and Canada, they all see it kind of strange. Like, why are you thinking that way? That's not normal. But for us, it's not normal to, you know, walk around and make yourself a visible target for you to be stolen. It's like, I'm not going to go to the worst part of New York City, like in the middle of the night, all drunk like that, make myself a visible target. Like, what's wrong with you? For us, that would be strange. But it's not that it's wrong. It's just a different type of mentality, and it's actually created by the area that you live in, and it's created by the society that you live in and the culture that you live in. Unfortunately, that's a bad part of society. I think it's funny though, because the thing is that, you know, come on, you know, guys, have better common sense, you know. And as a Colombian, what are you doing just standing there like that? I don't do that. If I'm going to text somebody, I'm going to make sure that I have my face towards the wall, and I'm going to be making sure that nobody's coming close to me. Or if I do need to text, I'm going to go inside a store or something like that. You know, just hanging out like this when somebody comes, yoink. There's a little cartoon like that does that.
So those are my things that I thought were really, really weird, even after 3 years of living here, that I probably will never get used to. But there's probably a lot more. So if you've ever been to Colombia, or you're living here currently and you're a foreigner,
I want to thank you very much for coming up to this far. Do you like what you see so far, you know, please like and subscribe. Once again, I want you to go to AK Joel's channel, which I'll be putting in the description. You know, please give him a like. Please follow his videos. He does insightful things. He actually came out with another video that things that Colombians do right. You know, this video was not done in a mean-spirited way. There was just a way to clarify certain things that, you know, me as a Colombian who you can handle the language, both languages fluently, you know, can, you know, give better insight. But once again, I thank you very much, AK Joel. I wish you the best. Medellin Buzz. You know, I follow you guys both. You know, I hope you guys' channel keep on growing. I wish you more success.